drinking a couple.
Hello, good evening all. This is...
What was that?
That's my tongue prep exercises because I'm going to be talking for a straight hour here. This is monologue hour.
I'll just sit here and support you with my eyes.
This is monologue hour with Juice Wacker. We forgot Madmen On Air, and so it's just going to be me tonight.
Yeah, we're just here.
That sounds fun.
And the other voices I can do. I'm very talented at monologues.
And talking at the same time.
This is an entire joke. Welcome to Madmen On Air with the Madmen. I'm Juice.
I'm Julia.
There you are. And Pam!
Pav
is here now.
But that's...
And I'm Pav.
And who are you?
And I'm Dan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's four of us here
Sharing,
tonight
sharing.
in a little tiny radio booth in the middle of not the middle of Massachusetts.
Middle of Massachusetts.
Really on
In
the
a
far
field.
right side of Massachusetts if you're looking at a map, the normal way. We're not using this tonight.
All right.
Can you hear yourself though?
I can hear myself.
Pat put on a headset for a second there.
Yeah,
That
it was
looked
very exciting.
fancy.
All the visual gags that happen here are really funny, and you'll never appreciate them. I'm very sorry for
Can that
that.
be my job, just explaining what's going on? that
Yes,
they can't
do
see?
it. Please.
Yes, but only if it's entirely necessary,
Right.
because if you're just constantly explaining,
Pav's wearing glasses.
that's not... No.
Juice and Dan both have drinks.
Yeah, okay.
That was the mistake. On my way over here, I was like, should have brought water. I had like a big cup of iced tea last
I
time.
have water,
I would share this with you, but the whole hand.
but like,
foot, mouth
yeah,
thing,
diseases are spreading.
Oh,
Yeah.
hand, foot, and mouth is spreading like the plague at
Spreading
Gordon.
like
It's
wildfire.
really awful. For those of you who don't know what hand, foot, mouth is, which is probably none of you, because all of you probably go to Gordon and we got an email about it.
Or are worried
it's
about us back home or
a
whatever.
really, really unpleasant disease that's not life-threatening in any way, but just makes you very, very uncomfortable for 2 weeks
Specifically
upwards.
your hand, feet, and your mouth.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hand, foot, mouth.
It's also very infectious. So we're all avoiding each other's gaze because it transmits via eye contact mostly, from what I understand.
It's strictly eye contact. In fact, eye contact, and if your
I'm making
hair-
very intense eye
hair?
contact
yeah,
with
if your
Pav
hair
right
brushes
now.
somebody else's hair.
Oh no!
Stare into my eyes,
Where's
Pav.
my hair?
I was
With
gonna
his
say
hair.
visual gag there.
That's what happened
Another
this time.
visual gag
That's what
for
happened.
you on the medium
Welcome,
of radio.
welcome to Visual Gag Night at Madmen On Air. No, actually, tonight we are very excited to introduce one of our new freshman recruits.
Julia.
But I already said my name.
Yeah, we
Oh,
just want
never
people to
mind.
know who you are.
Julie's
so,
new.
exactly.
Julia
You-
Murphy.
You,
Oh,
you,
specific.
She's new.
To the team.
you've all heard
Sweaty-Toothed.
Pav's voice, Dan's voice, my voice, on stage, off stage. You've probably gotten sick of
In the
us.
cage.
Well, it's time to hear a new voice who you will get sick of eventually, just as we
Oh,
all
you'll
get
get
sick
sick
of
of
each other
it
at
like
some
a
point.
week.
Remember,
sick
we're
with
all
hand,
crammed
foot,
here
and
together,
mouth.
and we all see each other far too much because this campus is very small and there's no way off it.
Yeah.
But accept that and roll with it.
Julia, I'm gonna give you a nice 15 seconds to
Ah.
introduce yourself. So when I say go, just
shoot.
it's 15 seconds, pretty long. All right, and go.
Oh, hello. My name is Julia Murphy. I am from Andover, Massachusetts, land of me. I am an early childhood education and a psych major here at Gordon College, and I'm a freshman. And yeah, is the
Wow,
Yeah.
she did it in 12.7, everybody, and now you know her.
We had the exact same problem last night where there was a game where Julia was supposed to describe something in 5 seconds and she ended up describing it in like 3.5.
She's just
So,
quick on
She's
the draw.
efficient.
What was it that I said? It
Her
was
brain
like,
fires on all cylinders.
banjo boarding school. Going to
Banjo
church.
Salvation.
Banjo salvation.
Anyway,
And
that's
you can get some zesty jokes like that at our Sweaty-Tooth show coming up.
yeah, that'll be
Yeah.
October 29th.
Pluggity plug.
Pluggity plug.
Stranger Teeth is the name of the show.
no,
Check
no,
out
no,
our
no, no.
promotional material. If you like Stranger Things, I think you'll like our promo.
Even though they
So-
have nothing in common.
No, they
Yeah,
don't.
they're very different.
They're just
No.
cool. They look, but like the graphic looked, or
Yeah.
like the picture looked nice.
Yeah.
Graphics
great.
does not,
made
one
that?
graphical decision does not a show make.
But who did it though?
Yeah.
Should we?
Was it Ryan?
It's a secret.
Because it turned
It's
out
not a
really
secret.
well.
It's a secret. It's very secret.
It's a secret.
It's a super secret.
Oh, it is a secret.
Is it
See, now I
SDA?
know. That's why I asked with my eyes
Can't handle.
and my voice.
Now, anyway, so Stranger Things, great show, absolutely wonderful show. They probably are sponsoring a lot of people right now, trying to hype
Sponsor
the
us.
release of season 2. However, that's not the show that's sponsoring us as Madmen on the Air
Not at
because
all.
they're a big deal and we are a tiny, tiny improv team in Wenham, Massachusetts. So Dan, could you tell us a little bit about the TV show that is sponsoring us currently?
Right. So you guys all know Friends, right?
Yes.
We're familiar.
Well, it's not Friends. We're being sponsored by Fuller House, which will be premiering in 20 years, and the children of the people that are on the show now won't be on it, but there will be children playing the children of those people.
Okay.
So it's never actually people that they're related to, you know?
Right.
And it's never people that can act. It's just people that are related to people that can act.
Okay.
I like
Is it
like
going to
it.
be
About right.
specifically all of the great-grandchildren of just Bob Saget?
I'd be
You gotta
down.
sag it and tag it.
Saget
Just
Saget.
film his reunion, his family reunion.
All right.
I haven't seen Fuller House.
I actually,
Who's seen
good.
any of
I have
it?
never seen any of Full House, Fuller House, or Friends.
I'm watching
wow.
the third
Or
season
Cheers.
right now. It
Of
just
Fuller
came
House?
out on Netflix.
It made it to a third season.
What-
Then it must
yeah.
not be bad.
It's not
What do you
bad.
think?
Well,
I mean, it's funded.
10 out of 10.
Really?
No.
All right, I'd like to. Okay, you haven't seen Full House.
No.
I've actually only seen one episode of Friends.
okay.
Actually, I've seen a
Wow.
few. That's
I
not
didn't
true. I
like
have seen a
Friends.
few. I just don't like the vibe from Friends, and I know that's like an unpopular opinion.
And it's
Okay.
probably getting more popular as we move into a
That's
different
it.
era
And people
of
are
humor
kind of
and
far away
sitcom.
from Friends. Yeah.
It's old.
We've gotten
It
to the
is.
point where
No
being
offense
a
to people
good
It
that-
sucks.
Yeah.
we've gotten to the point where a good sitcom has to not just be a quality sitcom, but has to subvert the genre in some way because it's been around
Yeah.
long enough.
Correct.
True.
When Friends came out, it was probably pretty like, wow, this is just like the top of the sitcom game, from what I understand.
What's a sitcom out now that's popular?
I don't know.
I mean,
Good
But I-
question.
Community ended a while ago, but Community is the last
Community
like
wasn't
really.
like a sitcom.
It is a
though.
sitcom.
It is?
It's very much a sitcom.
Really?
Is,
Yeah, so sitcom stands for situational comedy, right?
Yeah.
So essentially, it's
definition.
this idea that you take this cast of characters who are very strong characters and you put them in different situations,
Right.
and the comedy arises from these characters you already know being put in these situations instead of like a joke happening necessarily. So yes, I would argue that Community is technically a sitcom, but it's a very
Get into a
subversive
debate
How
sitcom.
big of a cast do you need for a sitcom?
like Parks and Rec is a sitcom.
Oh,
Parks and
very
Rec
much
is a
so.
sitcom.
Even though
Office
it's
sitcom.
very
would
much
you
different
could you argue that
setting-wise.
like Master of None is a sitcom? With one guy being put in different situations, because it's not really a full cast. It's basically
I would.
Aziz Ansari's character.
Let me see what Wikipedia or IMDb
Oh,
says
yeah,
about
the
that.
ultimate
Because I've
source.
never
Everything
seen
on
it.
Wikipedia
It doesn't
is the truth.
feel-
Well, no, I was just gonna say then we can argue about it.
Oh, arguing's
Oh,
fun.
Don't
okay.
things feel like sitcoms? Like when you're watching a sitcom,
When-
it
when-
feels
I think
like
of a sitcom when I think of like laugh track and like really stupid
like
jokes.
Little Sheldon.
Young Sheldon,
Young
thank
Sheldon,
you.
whatever.
What
I,
is wrong with the world?
I bet my parents are gonna watch it.
No,
I bet
Julia.
they're sold on it.
Julia,
So
could you
sad.
tell us a little bit about our sponsor, Little Sheldon?
Little Sheldon.
Not Young Sheldon.
Is it,
Yeah,
it's
not
about
young Sheldon, God,
Sheldon.
that's a big
He's
show.
really small. He's got a big head. That's it.
I love it. I
That's
would.
beautiful.
Pitch
Would
it
I watch
to the
it?
networks.
Oh, boy.
All right. There was definitely a point when I liked Big Bang Theory. I think like when I mean
No.
when I was younger.
Yeah,
for
I
sure.
loved Big
Yeah,
Bang
I was.
Theory.
Fury.
I was
For
definitely
like
a fan.
2 weeks, it was awesome.
The thing is like what surprised me is a lot of people liked Big Bang Theory for a time.
It captured the nerd humor as nerds were starting to become cool, and now that nerds are cool, it's kind of irrelevant.
Nerds are cool.
Well, and
That's a pretty That's
I
a
think
really-
more than that, and this is a term you'll hear bandied about, especially in the realm of sitcoms. But I think a lot of it is also that it got Flanderized eventually.
Ooh, that's a
what
big word.
kind
What do
of
you mean?
word is that?
I actually really love talking about this because it's fascinating to me.
Okay.
So Flanderization is this concept based off The Simpsons, which is obviously just an incredibly long-running cartoon
Oh.
series,
Yeah.
where there's this character, Ned Flanders,
Okay.
who used to be a fairly nuanced character. And, like, he had his caricaturish things. He had, like, his things that you knew he was going to do.
Yeah.
But eventually, as the seasons went on, he became more and more of a caricature and less of a human. In a more recent example, Community, Pierce got Flanderized in that, like, Pierce used to be an important member of the group on Community, and he'd make, like, questionable decisions, and you never really liked him. He was always a bit of a jerk. But at some point, he just became irredeemably awful. Like, he never did anything good. He never did anything for the benefit of the group anymore,
So
which
he
was
kinda,
always his
like,
redeeming factor.
Lost the aspects that made him like a person.
Yeah.
Because nobody's black
Yeah.
like black and white,
No.
evil or like
Or yellow.
good. Or like
or green.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Green.
And we're both wearing green. Visual comedy.
That's what's
Wearing
happening.
Gordon College green
I'm the
shirts.
only
But
one
anyway,
wearing green.
Oh, it's sad.
I think this is a good segue into talking about Julia, which is what this show is
Yeah,
going to be
back
about.
That was
to
a
it.
segue.
So, Flanderization is this idea that eventually,
What
through
does
a
this have to
series
do
of
with me?
comedy, you're going to see. It's
He's got a
Bring it
segue.
around.
trust me, my mind might not work well, but it does work.
Hard.
Hard, very, very hard. Please work hard to keep up with my brain. So, Flanderization is this idea that eventually, over time, what was once a character just becomes a caricature. That all the funny things, like all the catchphrases, suddenly that's just all they are. So,
Right.
Julia, if you were in a sitcom and about season 5, you started getting Flanderized, what do you think are the defining caricatures of who you are as a person, as a comedian, that would just be brought out to the point where you're not
Love
even a
this
human
question.
anymore?
I feel like I already am like that though.
Oh God, I spilled London.
You've
Fog.
already been flanderized.
That's a
like,
good answer.
I don't. I'm very clumsy, and everyone just sees me as that. Like, oh, she's confused. Like that's just her. Like my RA Jenna, she said the other day, "You're just inevitably always confused, aren't you?" And I was like, yeah. It's true. It's just my personality.
Well,
Okay.
thank you for sharing that term, Juice. I
No
will use
comment.
that
Oh, not
all
me.
the time.
Yeah, and you'll start
Flander.
seeing it places also,
Yeah.
even in like movie series.
It's like
or
what
Like
they-
of the Avengers.
It's like what they did to
Yeah.
Gibby on iCarly.
There's
Poor
an
Gibby.
there's
Alright.
shot fired right
So,
That's actually a really good point.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He got flanderized.
Who did?
Gibby.
Gibby.
on
Gibby.
iCarly.
Gibby
Oh,
on iCarly.
oh.
All he would do is take his shirt
That's such a
off
pure
and come in and
memory.
say,
Like,
I-
Gen was
Gibby.
taken to a place.
All right. So Julia, just instead of the 15-second thing, which I think was really fun, I just in the spirit of keeping this show with somewhat of a direction and theme, how did you, as a non-theater major,
yeah.
how and why did you decide to improvise, to audition for Sweaty-Toothed? And do you think it has any applications in your particular field? And no is a valid answer. I don't want you to like
Oh,
make up something.
I got stuff to say.
but-
I mean, I've always done theater. I mean, like, even though I'm not a theater major, it was always a passion of mine for like forever. And yeah, I told you guys, like, my sister does improv. Shout out to Annie Murphy.
Annie Murphy.
I think
Annie
she's
Murphy,
listening.
this
Are
show
you
is for
listening?
you.
This show is for you.
You're
Okay.
not listening, are you?
She told me she would.
Oh,
She's listening.
Then we
I'm
should
really
say
sorry if
something,
you're listening and
then
I just
you
assumed
should
the
say
worst of
something
you.
and then you can ask her the thing that
No.
we said. And
Okay,
then
so
see
she
if
did
actually-
improv. I took a class on improv in middle school, but it didn't do any help. It was just like
It didn't
we
do any
we just
help.
played the park bench game over and over again every single day during class. But like, okay, since I did theater so much, I was way more interested in like scripted stuff, and I like to be characters and like really get into characters. So I was like, improv is stupid.
Yeah.
But then, yeah.
Got him.
Burn.
But then my good friend Jess, who also lives in Grace, she was like, I'm gonna go to the improv auditions, and I was like, I'll do that too. I'm not gonna get in, but I'll go. And
Shout
I
out
went.
to Jess Kuvo.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jess.
Cape Cavahavo.
Thank you, Jess, for bringing Julia to this team.
Kovo.
It's
Kova?
Kovo?
It's Kovo.
I've
Do I
never
know
pronounced
Jess?
it right.
Yeah, she's
She's
Marissa's
Marissa's
little
sister.
sister.
She came to
Oh,
auditions.
yeah, Marissa's sister.
Yeah.
Mister.
Sitter.
For all of those of you who
Mercy,
don't know
nurse, nurse,
Marissa,
Kerber.
Marissa's
that
cool.
wasn't helpful.
Hi,
Anyway,
Marissa. Oh yeah, and then I like came out of class and I was like, oh, I got a callback. Why? And then I went to callbacks and I was like, yeah, I'm like on the bottom of the list, and then I got in.
No particular order in that list, by the way.
I love it. It's just like I felt very similarly when I did the whole process.
Well, that's
yeah, as someone who's deliberately going into a different field than
Oh yeah, how does
performance,
that?
Yeah,
affect?
do you see any parallels or ways you can use it? If not, again, no, it's a totally valid answer. You don't have to make something up just to make
No,
improv sound
I've
better
got
than
it.
it is.
Since I am going to be a teacher, that requires a lot of improvising with children. Like, for example, the kids that I always watch, little Zachary and little Jackson and little Timmy, best kids in the world. They'll like pick up wooden blocks and they'll say, "We have a gun," and they'll start shooting each other. And you gotta think fast and be like, "It's a fire hose. You're fireman. It's a fire hose." And they're like, "Yeah, it is." it helps a lot with just being like quick on your feet and stuff.
Yeah.
And
I-
stuff.
I agree with the and stuff part.
I always agree
Me
with that
too.
stuff. Oh.
Oh man.
What? What
So
do we have?
couple of items of business. First item of business. If you'd like to have a question or something featured on the show, if you have
I
questions
know
for any
Zeke
of us.
wanted to ask something.
Yeah, Zeke, if you're listening.
Zeke was very upset you guys didn't mention him last time, by the way.
Well, he didn't phone in, now did he? Yeah, feel free to phone in, text in, message at
using
Sweaty-Tooth on
emojis?
Facebook, tweet me at CCRJuice or at Sweaty-Tooth.
Or at
have
Juice
access-
Juice
Reviews
Reviews
Bon
Bon
Appetit. Follow
Appetit.
on Instagram.
Yeah, if you want to send me a DM on
We get
Instagram.
to get to the shameless plug part of the show.
Yeah, we can do shameless plugs really quickly, but I do have really big news
At
that I want
Juice
to talk
Reviews.
about.
Mm.
that I
Yes.
saw. But let's do plugs. Any
Also,
plugs?
Zeke, call us.
Zeke, we love you.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
All right, so I'll plug first.
Go ahead.
Follow me on Instagram at RealPav and
Nick
at
and Dab.
NickPav Dab on Gordon. And also follow at Gordon College. Mark Spooner takes great photos, and I think
Yes.
he deserves some credit there.
Love it.
Yeah, if there's one person on campus who never gets enough credit, it's Mark Spooner.
No, it's gorgeous. Gorgeous.
Any other plugs? Any other plugs?
No.
That outlet over there.
Nice.
Yeah.
You little punster.
I have an Instagram, but whatever.
I have an Instagram.
It's my name.
I don't care if people follow me.
It's all right. No one will follow.
I
you.
might-
follow me.
I
Broadcast
might
anyway.
get a Twitter, so stay posted.
Ooh,
Why would you
that'll
need
be
a Twitter?
exciting.
I don't know.
What are you
I
gonna
feel
tweet,
like
Pav?
I feel like I have like funny things to say. I don't know.
Oh yeah, sure.
Like,
Sure.
all right.
Sure.
Anyway, okay. So big news.
Hit me with it.
What is it?
Slap.
So this is from Chris Jones, who was a Sweaty-Tooth member a couple years ago.
Chris.
Chris.
This is not
I don't
directed
know
at
him.
us, so he's probably not listening. But I was scrolling through Twitter looking if anyone had messaged me, which no one had, which is fine. And I saw
Unexpected.
Chris Jones 5 hours ago posted a post on Twitter that says the Coen brothers are making a Western anthology series on Netflix.
Whoa.
So, for those of you who don't know, the Coen brothers are a pair of filmmakers who have made some really incredible films, like Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Yeah. Okay. Now I know what you're.
Yeah.
talking
Fargo, Big Lebowski, No Country for Old Men,
Love it.
Hail Caesar, one of my personal favorites, even though I don't think it's their best work. It just resonates with me personally. And the two Western-ish ones they've made, which are Oh Brother, Where Art Thou and No Country for Old Men, are debatably two of their best.
Yeah.
So they're making a whole anthology series of Westerns.
And did you say it was on,
On Netflix.
Yeah.
That's just a good sign right
Who
there.
loves
Yeehaw.
giving funding to people with
How-
no strings attached.
How
And good
far
projects.
into the, or is this just kind of like just?
I think this
starting?
just got announced.
Okay.
Awesome.
So great.
Yeah.
That's super.
That's cool.
Honestly,
Yeah.
we should have Chris on the show.
I'm gonna text him.
I
Okay,
would.
text him
I would
around.
love to have some Sweaty alums.
That'd be
What do
awesome.
you guys think? Like, who would you want to see on Madmen on Air? Anybody.
Me.
We'll get them.
Here.
Like, you name a name, they will be sitting on one of these stools.
I will-
uncomfortably.
I will
Kevin
soon
Bacon.
embark on my Twitter campaign to
Kevin
get
Bacon and his
DML
bacon.
and Pete Holmes on the
Bacon.
same
DML
episode.
Pete Holmes, same episode. It's coming, confirmed here tonight.
They
Which
debate
one are
their
you gonna
senses of
pretend to
humor.
be?
I do a pretty mean DML.
All right, I'm Pete Holmes.
Hello, I'm the president of Gordon College.
Hi guys.
Oh jeez.
I love him.
My first name is Dwight. That's what the D stands for. Don't look it up.
Is it really?
Yeah, actually.
Is it?
I thought
Yeah.
it was Darlene.
I thought
It-
it was like.
How did we learn that? Was it
Donald.
Mark Stevick just casually dropped it? Yeah, I was talking with Dwight the other day. We're like,
Dwight.
"Who?"
Somebody
Like,
dropped
"Oh,
a Dwight."
Sorry, Dr. Lindsay.
It's-
Dwight.
I forget. Somebody started the Dwight thing, and like we're hoping that he gets introduced as Dwight in a chapel.
And even if
That's
it's
like
not
right.
really- even if it's not really his name.
What's not his name? His name's like
Dennis.
David. I think it's David.
That's
David.
so
Why do you need to like
nice.
hide that though?
David's a good name.
Well, I
D.
think
Yeah.
I think
What's
it's
the D?
distinguished just to use the first letter of your first name.
Yeah, true.
That's okay.
Like C.S. Lewis. I mean, Crispin Salami Lewis.
That's like a
Well, of
like-
course he chose C.S.
Crispy
I'd say
salami
that's a
Lewis.
writer
crispy
move, though.
salami.
You have to be a writer to. And,
He
uh,
wrote
Crispy
View
sandwich?
from the Top.
Yeah, but a lot of people write books and they're not writers.
Best-selling novel, View from the Top. It's a fictional novel
Okay.
Who?
instead of a research. It's actually fascinating.
Is it?
The,
No, it's a really good
the
book.
Platinum
Plug it.
study, I believe, is the study that he did. I took a class with Dr. Lindsay, and it was actually really interesting talking about
It's almost like he's
leaders.
actually a very incredibly intelligent
He
man.
is. He talked about
He's
leaders
an
in our
academic.
country, and he
thing.
interviewed a lot of them, and he talks about like what it's like being an elite and like the power that comes with that, and like what similarities they all have in common, and like where they're focused like regionally. And it's actually fascinating. I haven't read the book, but I've learned a lot about the study because we use that to kind of talk about certain leaders. So fascinating. He's a very, very intelligent man.
You taught a class here?
Yeah, he taught it last year. He teaches it, I think, every 3 years. But
Yeah,
it might be
something
for
like
like 3
that.
semesters. So keep an eye out. It's called Leading for the Common Good. I actually highly recommend it. It's a sociology class, very difficult. One of the most difficult classes I've taken. But for some reason, it also like demands your attention, and you want to put the work into it.
Cool.
So
Those are the best classes.
Yeah, those are the best.
I've run out of
weirdly
London
serious
ones that are
plug
weird.
No,
there.
So,
no.
Guys, I have a serious problem here
What's
Oh,
your
that I
problem?
just ran across.
You ran out of London fog.
I am out of London Fog, which is my new favorite drink to get at the Bistro or the Chesters.
Chesters.
The Chesters.
Love
The Chester. Oh, they should
So-
put us on in Chester's.
I would love.
A
Like-
what?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't know.
whoever's
People
over
don't
there
want
should
to hear
just
us while they're
transfer-
trying to
Yeah,
study.
Probably not.
yeah. But
Like,
do
we're
they
probably more
want to
distracted
hear
than music
the
are.
2016 top hits? 'Cause that's usually what's playing in there.
You've got a really good point.
No, it's like
Um,
it's like the love music. Like
Well,
the,
that-
It depends on who's
Yeah.
doing. Caleb Thomas plays great music.
Caleb plays great
Shout
music.
out.
Abigail plays really good music, but
Shout
it's all like Julia was
yeah,
saying.
no, because I only go in when Abigail's there.
Yeah, it's all
Shout
kind
out
of.
to Abigail.
How did you describe it? You
I
it's
said
like,
it's okay. It's like in the romantic movie
Like
when
an indie
when they like
romantic
realize that
comedy.
they like each other and they stare into each other's eyes and the guy's like winking. and, like-
Before things start to suck, but
Yeah.
then but not, and also before like the reconnecting song.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like halfway through
purest
500
moment.
Days of
No.
Summer.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
really
Yeah.
true. That is a lot of what
Jenna
Christmas is.
plays like sad music.
What does that say about Jenna?
She's
just,
very,
like,
very
sad.
happy.
She's very happy. Yeah.
She
She
needs some sad in
She
her
needs
life.
some balance.
She was
Yeah.
playing the music for me. I was like, Jenna, this is incredibly sad. She's like, I know. And I was like, but she also had playlists that was just like a very mixed bag because she likes to read to music, and she's like, books aren't always the same static emotion.
Yeah.
So it's nice when like it skips to a song that like
Yeah.
fits the scene, and I'm like, that actually makes a lot of sense. So
Yeah.
That's
shout
like
out to
magic
Jenna for really
improv or something. when it
really
just
nice.
lines up.
Anyway,
Anyway,
as I was saying, I have
Anyway.
a problem,
Yeah.
problem.
and
Fist bump.
luckily,
we had a fist bump.
we're all advice experts here, advice columnists. Little did you know, we co-write Dear Abby on the Daily.
What the heck is what?
I don't know.
Wait, do you know
Obscure
who Dear
reference.
Abby is?
What am I doing?
It's an advice column that's like nationally syndicated.
Oh, that one.
Yeah,
Is it still going?
I write that.
yeah, we all
write
do.
that. I
oh,
write that.
yes, we have written it.
So we've
In the
got
past.
Dan, who's our good advice expert.
I'm
Pav,
very
who's our
good at
bad
good
advice
advice.
Oh,
expert,
heck
and
yeah.
Julia, who's our worst advice expert. But for some reason, we keep her on the payroll. So, like I said, my problem is that I've run out of London Fog. What's some good advice, some bad advice, and just the worst advice?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That's with that good advice.
Here's that good advice.
That
First,
good.
you look at me and you're like, "Come on, man," and then I'm like, "I got you," and I run out of here. I stop talking and I get you another one. Okay?
That was
The,
really
the advice
intense.
is you look at me. The advice is you look.
And then I
get
say
you one.
something. Yeah.
You ask with your eyes,
Uh-huh.
and I read. them.
I'd like to hear the other advice before
Like
I follow through on anything.
hieroglyphics.
All right. Dan will be back in like 10 minutes. Bad advice. Get a plane ticket to Edinburgh, Scotland.
Okay.
Arrive in Edinburgh, Scotland.
Yeah.
Board a train. Ride the train about 2 to 3 hours into London.
Should I be efficient with how I get in the taxis to
Of
and from places?
Of course not. If you are in Europe, do not be efficient. Be as much of a big egg breakfast as you can.
What did
be.
you just say?
I'll tell you later.
breakfast? Is that what
Big
you
egg
said?
breakfast.
We can tell the story in a minute.
I would love to tell the story.
Oh.
So, and then make sure, and then wait for the weather. If it's a sunny day, give it a couple hours or like a couple days until it's nice. A nice fog has settled over the city of London. Then go outside there
One
with
would
your
say
cup
London
and just
fog, yeah.
just big swipe through the air. Put the lid back on.
Yeah.
Get back in the train.
Love it.
Take the train back to Edinburgh.
Okay.
Now take another train
Right.
back to London. Fly out of London
Wait,
back
what?
to Boston. Get driven here.
How am I gonna make it
Take a
worse than this?
sip. London fog back.
Question: how many times is he gonna go to London?
Go to London.
Did you say go to
Go to
London, get the
London.
fog, and then go to Edinburgh, and then go back to London? And
Yeah.
then
He did.
It's for the trip.
Yeah.
Oh, right,
So,
bad advice.
okay,
Oh, it's the
okay.
story.
So that was really,
That was
really
awful
bad. I would
advice.
like to hear some worse
No,
advice
I
than
can't.
that.
I can't.
You-
Okay.
Yes, you can.
Hello. Okay. You just take your cup and you go back to the bistro and you just stand on all of the tables at once and you
wow.
just slam on everything.
Jeez.
Just slam. You terrorize the entire place. Just throw. London fog is everywhere. There's hot water everywhere. They are not going to give you another London fog. So you go in the next day, do the same exact thing. They're still not going to give it to you. Just keep going in every single day until they kick you out of Gordon.
I actually think you managed to find worse advice because it not only inconveniences me, but literally everyone else in Bistro. That's phenomenal.
And it also keeps you from ever getting a London
Yeah.
fog again.
Yeah.
even
Exactly,
even a
that's why it's
pun
the worst
London,
advice.
even a pundit fog.
A London fog.
Jokes.
Yeah, these are the jokes.
These are the jokes.
Yeah, if you have problems you want us to solve, feel free to contact them to us in any way conceivable. Call us, text us,
Or if you just like want to
Tweet us.
shout out,
or if you want to shout out, question answer.
do whatever.
Shout out.
It's-
We're really just making
Ah,
this up as we
man.
go
Juice.
along, as I'm sure you can tell. But
Since we're not, I'm not getting anything. You guys getting anything?
Why
Nope.
would they text me?
no,
All right.
not
What
yet.
do we?
do you guys want to hear the Big Egg Breakfast story?
Yes.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Let's tell this. Let's
All
tell
right.
this.
So this summer,
Mhm.
Juice and I and a number of students from Gordon went
Oh no,
on.
not a number of students. We're naming who was in that apartment.
Oh,
with
All
us.
right.
Yes.
Well, okay. A number of students went into London and then Edinburgh to see a bunch of theater stuff. It was a theater thing. It was great. Whatever. That's not the important part of the
You
story.
should
It's
go.
fine.
You really do go if you
British
have the
Theater
chance.
Seminar. Check it out. Do the research. It's worth the trip for any major.
Email Norm Jones.
Norm Jones. Or Mark Stevick. But in our apartment, our flat in London was Juice and I, and then Garrett Reynolds, Ryan Canister, Luke, and Stephen Tillingast. Luke, I don't know if I ever learned your last name. It is Stephen Tillingast, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so that's all of us. That's the six boys.
Nice.
The boys.
And the only boys on the
The
trip.
boys.
Big ballers only.
And we were the fellas were together, and that was a good and bad idea.
Right.
London was great. We
Oh,
spent
London-
a week there. Amazing life-changing experience.
I love that city so much.
Every day we would come back home. We kept the place nice and tidy. We would watch some hilarious British game shows. And, you know, we would eat food. We would kind of
Eat some
leave it out a
biscuits.
little bit. Some garbage got around, but we
got
cleaned it
a
up
little
most
messy.
of the time. Last day, where they tell us very clearly, we got to be outside at 7 in the morning, or like
8.
8 in the morning.
Yeah, it was 8.
We're leaving at 8 from outside the flat.
Oh.
And we're like, okay, very doable. But we had bought some groceries over our period of time.
no.
And Garrett Reynolds.
Had this, Garrett Reynolds has this very sweet idea. Like, it's a great idea in concept. It was so fun, and like, I couldn't say no to him, and it ended up none of us could, which was a problem because someone should have. Because Garrett Reynolds says, hey, we've still got like 18 eggs left.
No.
And I don't want to throw out 18 eggs because that's wasteful. And I agree with him on that. I wouldn't have wanted to throw them out, but there wasn't a lot we could do otherwise. So he says, what if some of us got up tomorrow morning, cooked just a big egg breakfast
Big egg breakfast.
for everyone. And everyone was kind of like, yeah, if we're all packed tonight, that shouldn't be too much
All
of
right,
a problem if we get up early enough.
Let's
And so-
clarify some of the responses. All right. Some of us were on board. I was on board knowing full well I did not intend to participate in making the eggs, but
Right.
eating the eggs.
Sleep
Yeah,
But
and that
I
was an understanding.
And I also knew I was going to give myself some time to finish packing in the morning, but I was mostly packed at night. Ryan, from the get-go, I will defend him on this. He was unsure.
Yeah, that's true. Ryan, as usual, was the smartest person in the room.
Stephen and Luke, they were on board. Juice was hesitant, but also willing to help make the breakfast, which I think was very commendable.
Big egg breakfast.
Which is where it started to go downhill for me. Because you see, I said to Garrett, okay, you and I will both get up at like 7 in the morning, an hour before. We'll cook up these 18 eggs. We'll plate them up nice, and we'll serve them to the other guys in this apartment. It'll be really nice. It'll get us a good start on what's going to be a long day of travel to Scotland. And Garrett was like, yeah, I'll be up then to help you. I set an alarm. I pack everything the night before because we all kind of go, this is only going to work if we're all packed already by the time we get up to eat the eggs. And I go to sleep. And I wake up. It's like 6:45 is when I set my alarm. I stretch. I get ready for the day. I make sure everything's good and packed away. I go out at 7. and I kind of sit there. I'm waiting for Garrett. 7:15 rolls around, and Garrett is still, from what I can tell, has not moved from his room.
No.
So I'm just like, well, at this point, I've either got to commit or not do it. So I just start cracking open eggs and cooking them up, all by myself in the kitchen. Garrett comes out eventually around 7:35 and goes, "Oh, sorry, man, I had to shower first." So
Pav's head is on the
Garrett!
head on the
at
table.
this point, we're cooking eggs pretty frantically because we're like, okay, we've only got 25 minutes until we're supposed to be outside with the trash out, with the kitchen cleaned, all this. Everyone else pours into the kitchen. 7:45. We eat up. There is a mess. It's just there's
Oh.
egg all over the table. There's egg all over the counter.
No plate is clean.
No plate is cleaned, and very few people decide to clean their own plates, including Pav.
Oh, all right.
Pav.
I'll be real with y'all for a second. I came in, I ate my eggs, I went back to packing, and Ryan and I were the first ones done packing.
Because you never mind.
And so we were done packing. Our room looked
Because he
great.
didn't help clean anything. That's why he was done
Important-
packing.
But an important detail here. For some reason, Garrett leaves the room, and somebody comes in who's like works at the flat and tells us, "Oh yeah, don't worry about
Because it's like
things.
8:50.
You can
when
leave
this
the
guy comes in.
garbage just in the center of the kitchen. Like you're fine. Like." And he tells us like a few other things that we don't need to worry about. Garrett misses all of this, and Stephen and Luke, I haven't seen them all morning.
Because this is what happened, and I'll explain this. At 8:45, when everyone came out to eat their eggs, they came out to eat their
7:45.
eggs. 7:45, you're right.
Ooh.
When they came out to eat their eggs,
Yeah,
and
that's
everyone
good.
came out to eat their eggs, they went back to their room right afterwards. And when I poked my head in there about 5 minutes later to go, "Hey guys, we need to like be gone in 5 minutes," they were starting to pack.
Oh, what
They
a
had
cr-
not
Starting.
packed one bit the night before.
So Ryan and I, we know we gotta get out of there,
Yeah.
and we just leave.
They leave. And
Now to be fair,
leave.
I think I did clean one plate. It was not mine at one point. I
Oh,
like walked
wow.
in, cleaned a plate,
Wow, Pav.
walked out. I
You're
contributed.
amazing.
But I
you also
also
grabbed one
Ryan
or
and
two
I
of the
both-
bags of the 5 bags. of
Ryan and I
garbage.
both took a bag of garbage.
Oh, okay, that's pretty
Which, to be fair, I did not realize that there were 5. I thought there were 2, and I
Yeah.
thought we were getting all of
There
it.
was a lot of garbage.
It's what's in your heart, man.
And so Ryan and I leave. We get out on time, and then as soon as we're out the door, they're like, "What happened?" And I think Juice, you were right behind us.
Yeah, I was
'Cause
real fast behind.
We throw everyone under
under
the bus.
It was literally just a kind of a conga line of bus throwing. So Ryan and Pav get out and they're like, Juice cooked this big egg breakfast
Frickin'
for everyone.
Juice.
Oh.
And now everyone's late. And then I get out and they're like, oh, I always hear about this big egg breakfast. And I go, oh, Garrett had this idea last night that we have this big egg breakfast. And we're all throwing Garrett on the bus. And then Garrett gets out eventually, a little bit before Luke and Steven, after we've already started walking away. And they're like, Garrett, what was this idea? And he's like, well, I had this great idea, and it would have been fantastic if Luke and Steven had packed the night before. So everyone's just been under the bus at some point.
Also,
on this.
I think everyone except for the three
Under the
other
London
guys left. Like we started
Yeah.
walking and left like one person behind to wait for them.
Mark Stevick specifically.
Oh.
And then
man.
we just head out. It is tense up there. Norm Jones is furious.
I was going to say, if you've never seen Angry Norm Jones, because he's usually just a friendly grandfatherly figure,
Indeed.
please hope you remain that blissfully ignorant
Yep.
of his existence.
And this kicks off the worst day. Like we won't get into the rest of it, but that was the worst day of travel going from
Absolutely.
London, England to Edinburgh, Scotland.
And this includes the day of travel when we arrived in London and spent 5 hours in the line at customs. This was a worse day.
5 real hours. We were in an airport for 5 hours.
What's a non-real hour?
It's a minute.
Okay.
Anyway,
5 hour.
Pat
Meow.
and I have just talked for a very
That
long
being said,
time.
it was a great
That
trip.
career.
Yeah.
Julia,
What do you want?
I have a question.
What?
Where would you go if you could go anywhere?
Ooh. For how long?
You're going there for
Dude, I
5
don't know.
real hours.
5
real
hours.
hours?
Yeah, 5 real hours.
Not minutes.
Not minutes.
5 real hours. Wow.
Travel time
what
doesn't
can I
count,
do
like,
with that time?
Yeah.
When you get there to when you
Okay,
when you leave, it's 5 hours.
Ireland.
Yay!
I like
don't
that
know,
answer.
Just because I'm Irish. That's what everyone in my
Oh.
family always.
Oh.
That's how we always answer that question.
1%, 5%.
I don't know.
I-
100%.
I'm
know it's
even
on my
more
dad's
sad
side.
that you didn't get to come see Lieutenant of
Yeah,
Inishmore
diddly-dee.
now
Oh,
because it's about Ireland.
oops, I'm sorry.
Oh, it's fine.
I'm sad you guys didn't get to see Ferryman.
Oh.
Mm.
Very man.
All right, The Ferryman by Jed.
Yep.
Jez Butterworth.
Jez Butterworth.
Jed
Whoops.
Bush wrote a
Jez
show.
Butterworth.
Jez Butterworth is an excellent play. Might still be running.
It is.
Check out the script. It is fantastic. I was broken, emotionally destroyed. Fantastic play about the Troubles. Best thing we saw.
I
Juice's
think he
face
just
is in
killed
his hands.
Juice.
Yeah.
Visually, that's what's happening.
It was the version we saw was directed by Sam Mendes, who also directed movies like American Beauty and Spectre and Skyfall.
Oh.
Yeah.
So
American
just
Beauty's a good movie.
phenomenally directed,
Mhm.
beautifully written, incredibly performed. And this is a show with lots of child actors, and all of them were better actors than me.
Like, oh, they were so good. Okay, also, Juice can attest to this. It was definitely the most emotionally distraught he's ever seen me, I'd say.
Either that or the end of Logan,
Yeah. Oh, the end of Logan.
which we're not going to get into here because that would be very spoilery.
Yeah, it's worth seeing
I haven't
Logan,
seen it.
honestly. Everybody check out Logan.
I liked it. I don't
Dan,
really like it.
You
Same
liked it?
question
You
to
liked
you.
it,
I like
Dan?
What? Yeah.
Same question to you,
Same
but you
question?
have 5 minutes.
I have 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Wait,
Where
what?
would you go for
Oh,
5 minutes?
Oh, I
thought you meant you had
okay.
5 minutes
Sorry,
to
I have
talk.
5 minutes to talk
Phrase it
about one
well.
place
No,
I
no,
would go.
no.
Well, so I'm taking historical perspectives with Wick right now, right?
Yeah.
Do tell.
That's
And,
Wick
and he's
id.
he's got his own way of doing things. He's very conversational.
Yeah.
He makes it feel. He talks about the culture of people as if they were real. You know, like he makes it real for me because he talks about like the location and why they are what they are because of their environment and how that affects their religion and their culture and their activities and their art and all this stuff all at once, which is great. The Minoans
What?
are pretty cool. Okay. I used to say if I were to go somewhere, I would go to Greece. But the Greeks suck in comparison to the Minoans. My personal opinion.
Very sorry to any Greek listeners. That wasn't a personal attack.
Not Greeks as in now Greeks.
Ancient
Greeks as in
Greeks?
then Greeks. Ancient, yeah.
So you're saying you would time travel?
Oh, is that not the question?
You could
I
go
guess
anywhere.
I didn't
I think
specify
I think
that
specify.
you couldn't?
No.
All right, I'm going. Okay.
I think I want to
Okay.
change my answer.
Oh, yeah. All right.
I kind of want to go to Australia sometime.
Oh, Australia.
Okay,
For
so-
5 minutes. For
We
5
should
minutes.
bond
And
That'd be
ancient
awesome.
Greece for 5 minutes. Or which one?
Not. That's
Ancient
I
Minoans.
just yes. There you go.
For 5 minutes.
Yeah, like-
All right.
Yeah. Wherever they are.
Whoa, what was
Julia.
that? Okay, I think I
You
would.
can time travel.
I think no, I don't want to time travel. I'll just stay
Never
in
mind.
this
Don't
time.
time travel.
I think I would go to Italy. Italy is
No,
cool.
Is this for 5 minutes
Yeah.
or 5 hours?
5 hours. No, 5 millenniums.
Julia found a way to live forever via
Oh
the
my
Matrix.
goodness.
She figured it out.
Genius.
Okay. If you could be buried
Habs looking at me right now.
anywhere,
Uh-huh.
Any of you. This question is
Okay.
up to everyone.
Okay.
Buried.
You
You mean like
I
don't wanna be
after we're
buried.
dead?
Buried.
After
where
we're
would you
dead?
pick? Yeah.
After we're dead.
No,
After
while
you're
you're
dead.
alive.
I would take full advantage of a service where you're, and this is a real thing, so like, don't laugh, because it's a very serious thing for me.
Oh.
I've always considered having my ashes turned into what's called a reef ball, which is essentially this ball that they'll drop in the ocean in a place where coral needs to be redeveloped.
That's
And
cool.
it's designed so that coral will settle there and it'll be well supported and sustained to help coral repopulation.
That's awesome.
Because I absolutely love the ocean.
Does the ash do that?
Yeah, the ash helps
Really?
just like the structure and the carbon.
So
Wow.
here's my
Nutrient
question.
stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Would it be ethical to restore coral reefs by using the ashes of people who've been cremated? Like, if we talk to the families, do you think, like, because the person
Yeah.
I
can't
don't
say
know.
after death, no, you can't use my ashes, it's
So-
up to other people. And
so
there are
it's-
people whose families are, like, gone.
That's up to the
It's
individual. I'd say.
probably like you know how you can say that you want to donate your body to science. Probably if you say like that.
Yeah.
But if they
Maybe.
all right, but if they didn't say that, and if we want to
Ugh.
preserve this planet for future generations,
Mhm.
using
Yeah.
the ashes of
Human
past generations. That
sacrifice.
sounds.
Human sacrifice.
Well,
They're
this is-
already dead. They're already
Human
dead. We're not killing
sacrifice.
anyone for it.
This is actually kind of a really interesting question: is when does our ownership on our bodies die?
Yeah, when you
'Cause
die.
for me, it's like when I'm
That's my
dead.
answer.
When I'm dead, do whatever.
Yeah.
Like
Same.
let my
Same.
parents see me at a funeral. I mean, hopefully that I'll outlive them. I mean, that's like I'm a dark thought, but like
That is a very
you know,
dark.
I would like my family to get like a funeral or whatever.
Mm.
But past that, like whatever you need my body to do to like serve
Yeah.
the good of humanity, do that, please.
Take my organs. I don't want them.
I don't need them.
Gonna
I'm done
take
with them.
Pav's arm and use
Yeah.
it as a.
They're used.
a
But-
if you
shovel.
don't mind having used.
And that's great for you
organs.
because you can say that now and you can consent to that. But the
They're all
question
used.
is when does our consent over what happens to our bodies?
How did we
expire.
get into this?
Yeah,
Like, it would be great if we could get a bunch of people to say, yeah, use like my ashes to fertilize a bunch of new tree growth, use it to grow trees, use it to repopulate coral reefs. But is there when can we just say, okay, these people are dead, they've been dead for a while, they don't need their bodies anymore, and we don't really need to save them?
yeah.
It's an interesting ethical question.
Because like for me, I
Madmen
guess
on the
it's-
Air,
it's-
bringing you your best comedy all week.
It's easy for me to answer it because I am alive and I guess I don't care what happens
What
to
is
my
your
body. And I think my
answer?
soul's
Yeah.
as soon as I die.
Ooh.
But
Oh,
I
no.
think, you know,
Yeah.
and it's weird because, you know, it's like, oh, yeah, your family should have some say in it. But I also think ultimately, like, our last decision could be over our own body. And it could be like, hey, after this, I want my body to be done with whatever. But I don't know. You're doing nothing once you're dead. You're contributing nothing except for wasted space.
Yeah.
So
That's
I
what
think-
I'm doing now, sugar.
I'm ahead of the game.
Salt.
Pepper,
Salt.
turn us into fertilizer. Help us.
Yeah.
Some
grow
people
coral
want to get
reefs.
their bodies like turned into trees.
Yeah,
and
which
the
I'm
coral
No, that's
thing
a,
is
yeah,
so
that's a
much
thing
better,
you can
though.
do.
I like
yeah.
both.
Yeah.
Anyway.
the
We need
trees.
both of those things.
I've got a question.
Yeah.
From my little brother Andrew.
Ah,
Shout
hi,
out to my
Andrew.
little brother
Hey,
Andrew.
Andrew. I'll beat you in smoking
So-
guns next time. man.
Yeah. Such a good game.
Had a
I
lot
was
of fun
telling
with
Pav yesterday that Andrew is literally like a little clone of you.
that. He's great.
He kind of is. Did you meet
But he's
Peter,
better
though?
at piano.
I did meet
That's the
Peter,
weird thing. It's
didn't
like me plus Andrew is Peter. Or like
That's
Peter
weird.
plus Andrew is
No, but
me.
you guys
Or
kept
like
making
Peter's the one
jokes
with
and
the
then going,
dogs, right? And
the
long hair?
oldest, yeah.
yeah, we met him.
So
Yeah, he saw me almost break my ankle.
he says get wrecked
No.
juice in all caps. Get wrecked. R-E-K-T.
Juice just got wrecked
Get
on the
wrecked
air.
on the air.
This
Look,
is being
you
recorded.
can talk a big game. You can talk. Listen, hold up.
Okay,
I'm
okay.
gonna lay down
not choosing any
some,
sides here.
some hot fire on Andrew. Look, Andrew, you can talk a
my
hot
God.
game from all the way across the country, but you
He's in
come
the
All
same
the way
here.
state as
across
us.
the country. He's like an hour and a half away.
It's
You
a
can
small,
talk a big
it's
talk.
a small country. But listen, you come here to Gordon. Let's play some Towerfall.
Oh, that's how you know it's serious.
I have not played
I'll
this
let
game.
you pick your color. I'll let you pick the stage. We'll see who wins. Headhunters mode. No special arrows.
Oh,
Let's go.
snap.
All right, all right, all
What
right.
did he
all right.
ask?
Andrew, I also want to call you out. All right. I know we haven't probably met.
Oh, I think you've met.
We've met. We've met at least once.
knows who
That's
you are.
okay. I know you have a lot of brothers. It's hard for me to say. Either way, Andrew, I'm calling you out. When you come up here and you play your game of Towerfall and lose to Jews,
Heyo.
I want to sit down with you and play a game of checkers.
That's cute.
Checkers, okay.
I am the world-renowned checkers champ at Gordon
actually
College.
true.
Is it really?
I am
Yeah.
brutal at
Really?
checkers.
He was really good.
And
Like 6 years ago. He
also
might be 6 years
cards.
ago.
I'll play
6
you in
years ago.
cards. I'll play you in
Cards
cards.
is very vague.
I'll play you in any game of cards. You pick it as long as you teach me the rules. And chess
Magic.
and checkers.
Mm.
And I'll play Magic the Gathering against you.
I didn't say that.
All at the same time.
Okay.
Andrew, I'm calling you out.
Called out!
The newbie's calling you out,
Andrew.
Andrew.
Fight me. Go fish this Friday.
It's Friday. You're driving.
yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
That's it.
But in reality, we
So-
really love you, Andrew, and we'd
No,
like to
he's
hear
so
your
cool.
question now.
Okay, so his question is, favorite U.S. president and why?
For who?
Yeah.
Ooh.
For us.
Abraham Lincoln.
Julia's ready. to
Because
hop in
he's
on
the
it.
coolest
Give me
dude
a
in the
second.
world.
I need to figure out who it was.
I
but
want to
have one of
give
my
him a
favorite
big
stories.
hug.
Mm.
Aw.
He's a big man. He's,
He's
such a
He's
nice
a tall
man.
guy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put it out there.
Mm.
What?
Possibly an unpopular opinion. I'll say it on the radio.
Yeah.
Barack
Yes.
Obama I like him.
Yeah.
I mean, in a lot of ways, I grew up with him as president. You know,
Mhm.
8 years of my 21 years of life had him as president. I thought he was a great example of a dad and a husband in the presidency, which is like a really
Michelle.
cool thing
Yeah.
to see.
Cool.
I think he was nice. I think he was funny. I think he was what a lot of young people were looking for at the
Mhm.
time. And you know, I think him
Part
and
of the
his
job.
wife genuinely like worked
Yeah.
together well, and I think she also worked really hard. I like Barack Obama, and for me, it's like I feel connected to him, whereas a lot of
Yeah.
other presidents who have contributed a lot to our country over time, I just don't have the same connection to them. Like they're historical figures to me, and they're great. But Barack Obama, I felt like I've gotten to know and like
Yeah.
have seen as I've grown up. So
I would also
that's-
give him a hug.
Oh, I would love Barack
That
Obama.
man
I know
gives
you're
good hugs, you
listening.
know.
I know you're listening to this Scott Radio
Because
show.
you care
Barack
about
Obama's
us.
here with us.
I
in
would
this
love
room.
to give you a hug. Oh wait,
What?
is that confirmed? Barack Obama's coming on the show.
I will
sir?
literally tweet him
Line
right
it up with
now.
DML.
At
and
Barack Obama, we're tweeting you.
PD Holmes.
Please come on the show.
Pete Holmes intimidates me more than Barack
Old
Obama
Pete.
does.
Hey.
So, Juice, do you have an answer, or are you still thinking?
Yes, I'm trying to remember who the story was about. I think it was about Calvin Coolidge, who's renowned as being the quietest president.
Mm.
He's probably not my actual favorite president, but he does have some of my favorite presidential stories because he was just so famously calm and quiet. No,
Whoa.
No.
Whoa.
sorry about
The
that. I bumped
sound of
something
the
on the
void.
table.
I
Anyway,
wonder if that picked.
the void.
I say that too much lately.
void.
Keep going.
Anyway, so he was at a press correspondence dinner,
Mhm.
and one of the journalists decided they were gonna get a real good story. They were gonna make a bet with Calvin Coolidge, and they were gonna win that bet. So they walked up to Calvin Coolidge, and they're like, "So, you're the quiet president. You're the calm man. You're the man of few words and a lot of decisive action. I bet I can get you to say at least 3 words during this dinner." And this was someone who was going to be sitting next to him. And Calvin Coolidge said, "You're on." And he won that bet.
That's awesome.
Oh, Calvin.
Does the U apostrophe R
No.
on
That's one
count as
That's one word. Because
one
it's
word.
it's a conjunction.
Yeah.
yeah.
Contraction.
Conjunction.
Conjunction.
Junction.
What's your
function?
Hooking up
It's not the
words.
function of contractions, which is to put 2
not
words
the
together
thing.
Into one word.
Into
Yeah.
one word. It's one word. What's the
Okay.
word for a
How do you tweet at
snowflake?
Barack Obama? Give me a second.
At Barack Obama.
The word snowflake is
It's one word.
No, but like there's a word for
when
words
when
like
it's 2 words in
snowflake.
one?
Yeah,
Someone look that up.
because
I
I used to
will.
know that.
Yeah.
Um,
It's like a thing.
It's a something. It's like
It's like a thing.
It is
a
though.
race
isn't it?
car is one
You
as
can never go
well.
wrong with that word.
Hold on.
Race car.
Race car. Isn't that 2 words though?
No, race
Really?
car is one.
Man, this
No,
and
it's
it's a
one word.
palindrome.
This is like my favorite thing.
Is
On
it
his
really?
Twitter bio, the first thing in his list is dad.
Yay!
And then
Goodness.
husband,
He's
and
so
then
cute.
president, and then
Mhm.
citizen.
What?
That's sick.
See, he thought about
dude.
that.
He
I know he
Yeah.
did.
He's thought.
It's just called a compound word.
Yeah, compound word.
Yeah.
What's a
So
contraction?
compost
I couldn't-
word.
No, a
Contraction?
compound word is like snowflake. Contraction, we were right, but like compound word is.
Contraction.
Oh,
Traction.
what's
What's your
your
favorite
compound?
president?
My favorite
Dan?
president.
Yeah.
All right. So I've thought about this.
Yeah.
I was gonna say John Adams, but then this man popped in my head. Oh my goodness, Teddy bleeping
Roosevelt.
Okay.
Bull
this
Moose
man,
Party.
Theodore.
This
this man
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to tell you something
influences
about
me
this.
on the daily. No, he doesn't. But he's awesome. He's so flippin' awesome. Okay, so I read a biography about him in school, and the man was like, he grew up with all these different. I don't know everything, but basically, lots of illnesses. Was told he wasn't gonna like either live or like wasn't able to go outside, and he was just like, screw that, and like exercised the heck out of himself, and turned into this beast man
Oh.
He was
with like
cool.
a heart of gold, who like the stories about like him and his kids. He was just such a great dad,
Yeah.
and they had such a fun dynamic. Like they would like play animals in the house, and like he was like famous for like doing like 12 things at once, like having someone shave his beard while he's reading the newspaper, while he's getting coffee, while he's also like getting briefed on something, and then like also planning something, and just like the man was unstoppable,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
Literally
also
a
said a
brick
lot
wall.
of very quotable things.
Also,
Such an outdoorsy guy.
shout out to a very special teddy bear out there named Theodore. You know who you are.
Is that your teddy?
Who?
No,
So-
it's just not
Is
mine.
that your teddy bear?
No, it's not mine.
Shout out to Pav's teddy bear.
I have a lobster
Babs.
named Bisque. I'll be honest about it.
lobster named
Fisk.
Fisk?
Yeah,
A
dude.
couple more Theodore
Nice.
Roosevelt stories because I
Yes.
think he's such a fascinating character.
Yeah.
He once survived an assassination attempt during a speech. He was shot in the chest, and the speech helped stop some of it. And he literally said, "Nope, I'm not going to the hospital until I finish this speech."
Yeah.
As he was bleeding from the chest,
The man was a beast.
he just finished his speech, calmly went to the hospital, and when they got there, they went, "Well, Mr. Roosevelt, this bullet should have killed you because it went
Wow.
almost straight into your heart, but your pectoral muscles are so
Yeah.
dense and strong that they stopped the bullets." He's literally Superman strength level, where his body just stops bullets.
Shout
That's
out to our
awesome.
densest president.
Yeah.
Man was a bowling ball.
like when people ask you like who is someone that's dead that you would want to get tea with or something, and just talk to
Yeah.
him. He's high on my list.
That's a good pick. Yeah.
Yeah.
So thank you for that question, Andrew, and
Thank you,
prepare to die, I
Andrew.
suppose, by all of your
Well, not
challenges.
die, not die. God,
down.
no,
All
no,
of the
no.
above.
I would never threaten violence against you because I really enjoy you.
Through
I
a
just
game,
want to
though.
play more video games with
Yeah.
you.
Oh yeah.
The ones
Andrew.
I can win.
I would love to threaten violence against you.
We're on the air.
In checkers
Violence,
snappy
and Magic the
snippety.
Gathering. I've been watching a lot of people Let's Play Magic the Gathering, which I shouldn't admit on air, but I will. Follow Pro Jared Plays on
yes,
YouTube.
Pro Jared.
Very good.
Let's admit stuff.
What are we
Admitting
admitting?
Oh,
Are we
yeah.
admitting secrets?
Like, yeah,
Yeah.
Julia, what's one thing that
Some mildly embarrassing, but not like soul scarring
yeah, like
secrets.
Magic the Gathering. Come on,
What?
man.
I
Like
don't know.
like
You're in
Pavlov's
good
Let's
company,
Plays
you
of
know?
Magic
It's,
the
I
Gathering.
just haven't played it in a while, but like Pro Jared doing Let's
so
Playing
cool.
Magic the Gathering. It's like some like PC version of the game. Very entertaining. He's a great personality, and
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like I want to play more Magic. I played it some in high school, and I'd love to get back into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never played.
It's
never played.
it's surprisingly fun. And for those of you who don't want to shell out a ton of money
Yeah,
to
it's a
play a
commitment,
card
isn't it?
game, try Hearthstone. It's Blizzard's excellent online card game.
Oh man, speaking of Blizzard.
You can earn
There's a Blizzard
cards
brewing.
very easily just by doing well and just by playing it often. I've never had to put money in a Hearthstone, and yet I feel like I've made some pretty good decks.
Nice.
So that's a
All
little
right,
plug.
so I'm composing this tweet to
Barack Obama?
our former president
Be
Barack
Rocky.
Obama right now. It says, at Barack Obama, hello, if you're ever near Wenham, MA, on a Wednesday, consider appearing on our radio show, Madmen On the Air. Love you, sir. What emoji should I finish this with?
a kissy.
The
wait,
kissy
can you
face?
do kissy and the like,
I have three
The
characters.
The
kissy
microphone.
and the smirky
the microphone
face.
radio
Yeah.
or like the little
Oh,
like
okay.
the
so
old microphone.
Yeah.
which
emoji.
order?
Old
Which order?
microphone
Kissy
emoji.
face
You know,
first.
like the
Kissy-
and then
kissy
metal,
face
like
first.
the metal one with like the lines on it. You know what I'm talking
No.
about?
Yeah.
Yeah, like vintage microphone.
Yeah, like the Elvis microphone.
Yeah,
Let's see if I
yeah,
can find
Sure, whatever.
objects. That's probably
Is
the
it,
section.
I don't see it. Where is it?
I mean, there's.
I've got the
I
other
think
microphone.
There should be one, right?
I don't know. Is it at the end?
I've always assumed.
I'm just
that
gonna
it
keep
was
scrolling to the
one.
right. Visually, we're looking at my
Oh,
phone.
there it is, right there. There's one right there.
Where? Oh!
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
the old
not.
ti-
It's
the
not
old
with
timey.
the other microphones. It's with the other technology, like TV.
I've been
Oh,
advised
Abigail's.
by Abigail not to finish with a kiss emoji because he's a gentleman.
Let me just read this.
Thank
okay,
you,
perhaps
Abigail.
do not
Winky?
finish with a kiss emoji. He is a gentleman.
But
I thought it
do
would be
like ending
nice.
with like the radio thing. I think if he was willing to respond, I think he would respond sooner to just the little radio, like microphone. Thoughts?
When he responds,
I would
inevitably.
love him to actually come on the show.
I would. Die.
Would he ever?
No, he would never.
And that's the thing. I think he would.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
I think because
Mm.
I believe that
We
he's the
can't
kind
pay
of guy
him.
who like just kind of scrolls through his thing. He's like,
Finish
oh,
with
yeah,
something
that
whimsical
one weird
and memorable.
thing sounds kind of fun. Like I think he's much like way sooner to do something like small and like that sounds kind of interesting than like doing all sorts of like the press things he's probably still hearing about. Yeah.
I honestly, I would love to hear some of his views on like improv and comedy and what makes things funny.
Because
and
he's funny.
He's a funny.
Here's something
man.
you should check out. Seinfeld has.
No.
Is it Seinfeld? Has a coffee with comedians in cars. Is that it? He's got a little. What do you call it? What would you call it? I guess it's a mini series.
Yeah.
But he interviews comedians, and one of the episodes he interviews Barack Obama. It's fantastic. Check it out.
It's a very good
it's
episode.
really cool to see like Barack Obama just chilling
Okay, where? Oh, I found it. I found the microphone.
with someone
Nice.
as funny as Seinfeld.
Yeah, it's like hidden in there.
Okay, so Abigail, because apparently you're listening and you want us to end this tweet with something whimsical and memorable.
You buffoons.
What emoji is whimsical and memorable? The dragon? What do you want from us?
The
Just tell us and
dragon.
we'll do it.
Something that would get Barack Obama on our show.
So let's talk old cartoons or
or
stars.
old cartoon themed video games.
Like
Cuphead
Oh,
is
man, it's
blowing
blowing
up.
What's Cuphead?
Nice. All right, so Cuphead is this new shoot 'em up. It's
Ooh.
basically It's like themed like old Disney-esque cartoons, so think like Steamboat Willie look.
Oh, cool.
It's like it's all hand drawn, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's all hand drawn.
All hand drawn.
and then animated.
Beautiful, but incredibly difficult. Like so freaking
Tough as nails.
challenging.
Like probably not as hard as Contra, but
But people are loving it. It is.
Really?
It's so fun, and it feels great. I have not checked it out yet.
I
But
have yet to see a negative review.
exactly. It's so exciting to see it. I've
Other than
always been
people just
excited
going,
for
it's
it.
so hard.
The aesthetic is so cool.
How have I not heard of this?
I've been kind of watching it for I think a couple years now. I forget which E3 I first saw it at. Obviously it wasn't 2017. It might have been 2016.
I'm just gonna do the dragon.
But I'm really excited. I'm excited about it.
Are you sending the dragon with Barack?
No, it doesn't look right.
What?
Just send him
What
the
can you
microphone.
possibly
Anybody
do to
else
make
have
it look
ideas?
great?
Just keep it nice and formal.
What about the 100 emoji?
We're not trying to keep it
Oh.
hundreds
Oh,
with
she
the
got
president.
some.
Abigail, I don't have that many. I only have 3
All right,
spaces.
we can choose
Ice
from
cream.
those.
She gave us a lot of
Ice cream
options here.
emoji.
I'm gonna use 2 because I want to keep that radio one. I like that radio mic.
Ice cream?
Ice cream emoji.
That implies that we're bringing ice cream, though.
Yeah.
Do we want to commit to that?
We are bringing ice cream to
If
the former
Barack Obama
president.
was coming, I would personally make him ice cream,
Oh,
and then
wow.
I would buy ice cream
Dang.
that's actually good, so
Wow.
that I don't disappoint
What about
the
the rocket ship?
president.
You gonna make him a rocket ship?
You can
Obviously.
you come up with
We
this
would
clump.
talk about NASA.
Yeah.
We would do it.
Yeah.
Oh, hell.
What does Barack and Obama know about NASA that we don't? You know.
Barockin.
So
Barackin.
much, Dan. So much.
Yeah.
I mean, he was
Wait,
kind of
which
in
one is it?
charge of NASA
Ice
for a
cream.
little bit there.
Is that part of the job?
I mean,
Anything
not
he was
military.
in charge of, pretty much.
But that's
Barack Obama,
great.
if you are
I
listening,
learned
don't take
What'd
this
you
as a
learn?
the president of a college is in charge of pretty much every single aspect of the college, which is like different than how the president of a country works.
Oh yeah.
And like
Probably.
I didn't
Probably.
realize that. Like I
Barack
just kind of
Obama's not
assumed there was
choosing
like a
what
lot more
music is
checks and
playing
balances.
in national. Places.
Checks and
No,
balances.
I
in
thought there were like a lot
college?
more checks and balances on like the college president.
No.
But no. So that was just something fascinating,
Whichever
at
one
least
you
here.
choose.
And that was something that's just been fascinating to me, thinking about like administrators and like administrative power. I think it's good that a president is kind of balanced out. I don't think
Crystal
one
ball.
person should make all the decisions for the school.
That's called a dictatorship.
But also, and I mean, he's chosen by a board, whereas
Right.
a president, I feel like, is inherently implied that it's chosen by like
It's
the
democracy.
group that he's representing.
Right, it's an oligarchy. It's not
Olive
a
Garden.
democracy. It's
Yeah, but an
oligarchy.
oligarchy
Ruled by
doesn't
a
elect
few.
a president,
Sometimes they do.
do they?
Yeah.
All right. Well then, I don't know.
We're
also,
not political science
thoughts
majors.
thoughts
We
on
know what
having an
mom wants.
oligarchy run the country, because I've been thinking that would
That's
be
what
the
we
best.
have already.
Kinda.
What the heck?
I
We
guess.
have a political elite
This
that
is
I'm
not
getting
what I
really
learned.
political, and I don't want to do this.
We have
because
2
only
minutes. What are we
2
gonna do?
minutes left.
All right.
Well,
you're
first
gonna have
off,
to do a.
first off, it's time for our weekly ASMR with the Tech Bowl.
Oh,
Welcome to the ASMR corner.
So,
What's that mean?
Just for a minute, we're gonna make some gentle noises and whisper things into the mic. And if you have ASMR things, it'll make you feel real gooey and happy.
Get real close to the mic.
Ew.
All right.
And that was the ASMR corner.
Thank you so much.
Now it's time for some 30-second rants.
30
About
second
what?
rant. Let's
Here we
go.
go, Julia.
Before
am
we
I
get
doing?
into this, I just want to say really quickly. First show will be October 29th at
October
7 to
29th,
9.
check it out,
7
to 9.
$1 if you're in costume. Open workshop coming soon.
No.
Oh, and there is a Scott Radio kickoff on Friday from 4 to 6 right by the bell. We'll have a table there. All the other shows will have a table there.
will?
Come hang out
Check.
with us.
It'll be actually
It'll be-
super fun.
It'll be like
Please
Madmen
come
on the
check
air,
it
off
out.
the air. Now, Julia,
Whoa.
take us out.
Here we go.
Let's get a 30-second rant. Dan, what is Julia mad about today?
Pixie dust.
Oh man, what is pixie dust? Oh, it gets all over the place, man. It just gets all over the place, all over my shoes, all over my soul, all over my face. You just don't let me play with pixie dust. I'm not responsible enough.
That's good. That's like 30 seconds. All right.
Thank you so much.
Juice, do you want to rant?
Do we have the time?
Yeah, we have time
we
for
have
one
time.
more.
All right.
What am I
All
angry
right,
about? What am I angry
you
about
were
today?
ranting about
Butterfingers.
Butterfingers.
Oh
Start.
my
Go.
goodness. So here's the thing. If you're going to have a peanut butter candy, why mess with perfection, which is the Reese's? Why even bring Butterfingers into the equation? Because who eats peanut butter for it to be crunchy? Like yeah, I like crunchy peanut butter as much as the next person, but if it's just crunchy, it's just peanuts. And why just not eat a Baby Ruth at that point? Butterfingers is like trying to get the best between a Reese's and a Baby Ruth, and it doesn't get the better of either. So
The
just
butter.
pick one of those.
The butter.
Anyway, thank you very much for listening.
Thank
If
you
you
for
did listen, if you didn't listen, thank you for doing better
Thank you
things
for
with your
not
lives.
Thank you
listening.
very
Yeah,
much.
yeah, true.
Please
That's
tune
it
in
for
next
us.
week.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Madmen on Air.